So there's a whole generation growing up in a world that's basically built on artificial intelligence. But the real question is, how are we actually preparing them for it? And look, this isn't just about adding a new class to the schedule. This is a fundamental shift in how we need to think about learning. Today, we're going to break down a new global framework that's designed to bridge that critical gap. I mean, think about it. AI recommends our movies, it guides our cars, and it's completely changing the game for how we work and create. It's literally woven into the fabric of our lives. But here's the kicker. Are we actually keeping up? Is our understanding of this tech as deep as its influence on us? And that right there leads us to a really critical problem, something we're calling the AI generation gap. You've got this huge growing disconnect between how much AI is surrounding young people and how little they're being equipped to actually understand what it is and how it works. So if kids aren't learning about this stuff in school, you have to wonder, where is this AI generation actually getting its information from? Well, the answer? It might surprise you, and probably not in a good way. Yeah, these numbers, they really tell a story. Get this, a whopping 55% of young people are learning about AI from social media. Now compare that to just 15% who learn about it from their educators. Think about what that means. Their main source of info is being shaped by algorithms, not by an actual thought-out curriculum. And here's what happens when that's the case. Almost half, 49% of people between 17 and 27 say they find it really hard to think critically about AI. They struggle to spot its weaknesses, things like when an AI just makes stuff up, that whole hallucination thing we hear about. But okay, here's the wild part. A massive 74% of teenagers are convinced AI is going to be huge for their future jobs. They see how important it is, they know it's a big deal, but nearly half of their slightly older peers just don't have the critical skills to handle it. See that? That right there, that's the gap we have to close. All right, so how do we even begin to fix this? The good news is there's actually a massive international effort underway to build a solution from the ground up. It's a global framework designed to do exactly that, close this critical gap. And we're not talking about some small-time project here. I mean, you've got heavy hitters like the OECD and the European Commission with some really crucial support from code.org. They've all teamed up to build one single unified AI literacy framework for schools all over the world. Okay, so they've built this big framework, but what does it even mean to be AI literate? Let's decode that because it's the core of this whole thing. I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? It's a buzzword we hear thrown around all the time, but getting the definition right is the key to actually being able to teach it. So at its core, AI literacy is basically a mix of three key things. You've got the technical know-how, the timeless human skills that work alongside the technology, and the kind of forward-thinking mindset you need to use it well. This isn't just about learning to code, It's about being competent, but also having a conscience. First up, you've got knowledge. Think of this as the what. This is the foundation, right? Understanding what an AI model even is, how data is used to train it, and really getting how the quality of that data shapes everything the AI does. It's the conceptual blueprint. All right, next up, skills. This is the how. This is where things get practical. We're talking about the hands-on stuff like how to write a good prompt, how to collaborate with an AI on a project, and, crucially, how to double-check the information it spits out. And last, but definitely not least, we have attitudes. This is the big why. This is the all-important human element, the part that focuses on stuff like curiosity, responsibility, and creativity. It's about shifting the question from, can we do this with AI, to should we? So the framework takes these three pillars, knowledge, skills, and attitudes, and then breaks them down even more. It lays out 4 different ways that we all can and will interact with AI. Now, these 4 domains, they aren't just a list of steps. Think of it more like a spectrum. It's about moving from being someone who just uses AI to someone who can actually shape the technology itself. So that first domain is engaging with AI. Honestly, this is something most of us do every single day when we use a search engine or ask a streaming service for a recommendation. The real skill here is using it as this incredibly powerful tool, but, and this is key, keeping that critical filter on, always questioning what it gives you. Number 2 is creating with AI. Now we're moving beyond just taking in information. This is all about partnering up with an AI to brainstorm ideas, draft an email, write a piece of code, or even design an image. It's about true co-creation. Third on the list is managing AI. This gets a little more strategic. It's about knowing how to decide which tasks are best for a human to do and which ones can be handed off to an AI, all to make sure the tech is actually helping us reach our goals. It basically puts you in the driver's seat. And that brings us to number 4, designing AI. Now hold on, this doesn't mean everyone needs to become an AI engineer. It's more about understanding the basic principles of how these things are built so you can have an informed opinion and a voice in how they're developed for the good of humanity. So when you put all of these pieces together, the knowledge, the skills, the attitudes, and these 4 ways of interacting, what you get is a really complete roadmap for navigating our future with AI. And this is just so important to get. AI literacy isn't some separate isolated class you take. It has to be a thread that weaves through everything: computer science, ethics, media literacy, you name it. It's really a core skill for just living in the modern world. Because ultimately, that's the whole point. It's all about shifting young people from just being passive consumers of tech to being active, engaged participants in how it gets made and how it gets used. This framework is all about giving them the power to not just react to what's coming, but to actually shape it. I mean, let's be real. They're the ones who are going to build our future with this technology. And a framework like this is a huge step in making sure they have the wisdom and the skills to build a future that's not just innovative, but also deeply human. The only question left is, what are they going to build?